In this example, we want to simplify more complex indices. We want to simplify each of the following expressions and express our answers using positive indices. Our first example is p to the negative 2 times q all to the power of 4 divided by 5 times p to the negative 1, q to the power of 3, and then multiplied by a fraction of p to the negative 2 over q to the 3 all to the power of negative 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is deal with the brackets first by multiplying the power to each of the indices within the brackets. The next thing I'm going to do is consider my numerator separately. So I have p to the negative 8 and p to the power of 6. Combining these using our index law, negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. So our numerator becomes p to the negative 2 times q to the power of 4. In our denominator, we have 5 times p to the negative 1, and then we have q to the power of 3 times q to the power of negative 9, which is q to the power of negative 6. Now you can see that we have p to the negative 2 over p to the negative 1. So that gives us p to the negative 1 in our numerator. We also have q to the power of 4 over q to the power of negative 6. 4 minus negative 6 is 10, so we have q to the power of 10. Now our question asked us to express our answer using positive indices, but we have a p to the negative 1. So we need to move the p to the negative 1 to the denominator. So we have q to the power of 10 over 5p. In our second example, we have 2m cubed over r squared times n to the negative 4 all to the power of 3 divided by 5m to the negative 2 n to the 3 over r all squared. So the first thing to do is to multiply out the brackets. So we bring the power in. So we have 2 cubed times m to the power of 3 to the power of 3, which is m to the 9, over r squared to the power of 3, so that's r to the power of 6, and then n to the power of negative 4 to the power of 3, which is n to the power of negative 12. That's divided by 5 squared times m to the negative 2 to the power of 2, so that's m to the power of negative 4, and then n to the power of 3 to the power of 2, so that's n to the power of 6, and that's all divided by r squared. Now before we can simplify any further, note that we're dividing a fraction by a fraction, so that means we need to multiply by the reciprocal. So multiplying out our numerator, we have 2 cubed is 8, m to the 9 r squared, all divided by, well, we have 5 squared is 25, r is to the power of 6, we have an m to the power of negative 4, and then we've got two lots of the n. We've got n to the power of negative 12 and n to the power of 6. So negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6, so we have n to the power of negative 6. So you can see that we have m both in our numerator and our denominator. So m to the power of 9 divided by m to the power of negative 4, well, that's going to be 9 minus negative 4, so 9 plus 4, so we have m to the power of 13. We also have r squared in our numerator and r to the power of 6 in our denominator. So 2 minus 6 is negative 4, r to the power of negative 4, and that's divided by 25 times n to the power of negative 6. Again, we're asked to express our answers using positive indices. So our r to the power of negative 4 needs to go into our denominator as r to the power of 4, and our n to the power of negative 6 in our denominator needs to go to our numerator as n to the power of 6. So our final answer is 8 times m to the 13 n to the 6, all divided by 25 times r to the power of 4.